This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. We are here in London and I'm joined by former world champion Johnny Nelson. Johnny, obviously straight into it. Yesterday we had the sad news that the Queen had passed away. Obviously for us we was all kind of wondering as to what that would mean for the show. Had the announcement only probably about an hour ago now that the show will no longer be going ahead tomorrow night, that show being Shields Marshall. Just your kind of take on the last 24 hours of the Queen's passing and how it's affected the show and what have you.
It's clearly a knock-on effect for the whole country, not just the boxing, and not just in sport. It's about respect. It's about doing the right thing, and so the decision has been made to pull the show. Remember, the Queen was a mother. It's still a family that's affected. Remember, the Queen is represented, and she's a strong factor of the history here of the UK. So people here in the UK, we kind of get it, you know. But you look at New York, Finland, Germany, you go all over the world. It might not be as important to them, so they're thinking why. But here in England, it's making a statement and it's showing respect.
Whilst today was going on, Johnny, what was kind of your understanding as to how the series of events unfolded and if ever the show may have gone ahead?
So therefore, if it had gone ahead, would it be in bad taste? So it's an old girls show, you could have kind of honoured it to Her Majesty, but that would be looked on as an excuse. So the sporting events were pulled to show that mark of respect. A discussion between the boxing board, the promoter and the broadcaster was to sit down and say, you know what, it's just the wrong time. We've got to show respect. It's unprecedented times, and so the right decision was made. A tough decision, but the right decision. Remember, all these fighters, boxing is like no other sport where individuals train for a particular time, a particular day. You have footballers, they could nudge it on a couple of days and they're out every week. Individuals are physically getting themselves to a position where their weight is at an optimum weight, their fitness levels, their mindset, you know, 8-10 weeks of hard training to get to a certain day. So the effects are different. So even today, when they were waiting on the decision to be made official or unofficial, you had fighters waiting, saying, "Look, I've got to rehydrate. You know, I've got to eat. I've got to, you know, this is a crucial time." Will the postponement affect results? Could do. You know, because all of a sudden it's another 4 or 5 weeks of training. What do you do? How do they do it? This week they'll go back to light training because they don't want to peak, and it takes a long time to get it back. Light training this week. Next week a bit of light sparring. The week after that, step it up again to make it tough. Week 4, you start to taper it down again. Week 5, it's fight week again. 5 weeks. My fight camp used to be 6 weeks. 6 weeks was good enough for me because I lived in the gym. So for these guys, it's just going to be really, really hard that some people don't peak. Because if they peak, what it means is you can't perform to the best of your ability. You're better off undertraining than overtraining. If you're undertrained, you've got something to dig to. If you're overtrained, you've got nothing left. You've got no tank to go back to. So it's hard. But the only thing about it is everybody's on the same page. So everybody suffers the same consequences. My only worry is it's like lightning striking. What are the chances of getting everybody in the same spot at the same time? Again, on the same page again. That's the hardest thing because you never know what could or couldn't happen. But, you know, time will tell.
Johnny, what, to your knowledge, is the reason as to why it's maybe taken a little bit longer for boxing to make its announcement of the shows being postponed this weekend? We saw the Premier League and the EFL announce it around 11, 12 o'clock today that those fixtures would not be going ahead. It seems to be, from what I'm hearing, is the board made the final decision. Is that the case, or?
No, it was a joint decision between the broadcasters, the promoter, and the board. Everybody had to be on the same page and put forward the pros and the cons, and they just made that decision. You know, who does it affect? How does it affect? How does it reflect? And that's it. you know, so football made their decision. I'm quite sure other sporting events that are already penciled in will slowly make their decision if they're going to drop off or carry on again. Boxing decided to make their decision, and it's just delayed. It's just moved, postponed. Sorry, not through illness, not through anything else of anybody involved in the show, but out of a mark of respect, and that's it.
Well, Johnny, we'll leave it there now. I'll just leave you to shoot off. Try and enjoy the rest of your time here in London. We just had a chat saying that your daughters were on their way down, so yeah, hopefully catch up with them before you shoot back. And thanks for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Nice one, anytime.